as we welcome in former SU player and NBA veteran Etan Thomas on the Etan. Once again, you're on the Celebrity Hotline.
How's everybody doing?
Good.
Very well, thank
now,
you.
Now, here in the central New York this morning, it's on kind of a January that you might remember from your playing days at Syracuse. It is, I think, at the moment, 3 degrees, a wind chill of maybe 8 or 10 below zero. And I know we haven't had Januaries like that for the last couple of years, but I know when you were a student here and a player, you had plenty of them.
Oh, I remember those days, looking out my window before I walk, to class and walk across the quad, and I see all the snow. Yeah, I remember those days very well.
Was there a guy that rode a bike to class in the snow? Did you have one of those guys?
Oh, we definitely did. 100%. And I used to look at them in amazement. I was like, wow. And then, for me, coming from, Tulsa, Oklahoma, I was all bundled up the whole time. And I remember seeing some people in, like, hoodies and shorts. I was like, yeah, I don't understand this. I don't understand how y'all not cold.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, how about where you are right now at home? Did you get the snow in the front that moved on across the southern states yesterday and early this morning?
Yeah, we definitely did. It's about 10 degrees. It's going to be cold for this whole week. And it's interesting because schools are on a 2-hour delay. Because of the cold. It didn't, do any extra snowing, but it's cold. So that's something that's a little bit different. I don't think schools close up in Syracuse just because it's cold.
It's on to the task at hand before we talk about the game tonight against Clemson this past weekend. A nice come-from-behind win for the Orange against Notre Dame. Early on, it didn't look good, obviously, but at some point, somebody lit the fire, and the guys responded and came away with a nice win.
Oh, no, and the beginning looked bad. I think we started off down 11, and I was like, uh-oh. But then, like you said, things just shifted. And really those last few minutes of the first half. And I got to give props to Kyle Cuff. I am a big fan of his. And honestly, I don't know if they win this game without him in particular. His defense on Burton and, and correct me if I'm wrong, but Burton almost outscored our whole team by himself in that first half.
I think he did. I think you're right.
Yeah, but, after halftime, he, was able to hold him to, 6 points or something like that. And he really did a great job. And the thing that I like about Kyle Cuff is that whenever coach calls his number, he steps up. Early in the year, if you remember, there's games he was playing inconsistent minutes. Sometimes he would play, sometimes he wouldn't. Sometimes he would barely play. But it seems like every single time his number is called, he does his assignment and impacts the game in a major way. So people got to really understand how hard that is to do, not playing consistent minutes. So just want to give him a little bit of love for a minute.
When you were playing Etan, who would have been that guy on your team at the Syracuse that maybe didn't get starting minutes but got playing time, but every time their name was called, boom, they were ready to go?
Oh, it's tough. We had a deep bench and we had guys, coming off. I know Tony Bland did a great job sometimes. Sometimes he would start, sometimes he wouldn't. Deshaun Williams did as well. We had guys, but those guys are so invaluable to a team because it's like they're plugged into different situations. You have a situation where a player scores, 20-something points in the first half, and now your assignment in the second half is to guard him. You know what I mean? That's tough, but he really impresses me every time he steps on the court.
Yesterday, Etan, I heard a little bit of your chat. I didn't hear the tail end of it, but when you and Devo were doing your show yesterday at 11 or so, and the first part of the conversation had to do with, it might have been you asking the question, I don't remember, but what number of three-point shots would you be comfortable with the team taking during a game? And you and Eric were kind of going back and forth. Did you guys eventually settle on a number that would be something that you'd be happy with?
We didn't. It's tough because right now the landscape of college basketball, so many people shoot so many threes at a high volume. But I don't know if that's necessarily our strength. Of course, you have to shoot some. And I think that was Devo's point that, you have to be able to keep the defense honest, spread the floor and everything like that, because, our strengths are really going inside to our big guys. And they've been doing a good job of operating in there. Eddie's been passing well out of double teams. They've been doing well. But we have to knock down some shots, or else, everybody's just going to, sink in on them. But I don't know an actual number of what we didn't come up with an actual number, but we have to knock down some shots. We know that.
Well, on to the game tonight at Clemson, and again, the team is an underdog as you'd expect. But when you see Clemson, what are you looking at from the Tigers, and what does Coach Red have to do tonight to come away with a win down at Clemson?
So one of the things that worked really well against Notre Dame was that he went to a small lineup. He moved JJ off the point, and put Carlos at the point, and he was really doing a great job distributing and everything like that. And JJ was off the point, and that worked against Notre Dame. I don't know if that's going to work against Clemson because they're a bigger team. They don't have a small backcourt like Notre Dame has. So that part is going to be interesting to see. But I think really. And it's a tough position, but JJ has to play at a high level for us to really be in a game. We can't have games where he only scores 4 points, like against Louisville. He has to be the guy. And Clemson's a good team, so it's going to definitely be a tall task. But he has to really play at the level that he's capable of playing.
Lisa, did you have a question?
Well, yeah, I wanted to mention that I thought she was doing really good at the foul line. I was impressed because that's a lot of points on the table if you miss those, and I feel like they're getting a lot better at those. And I did notice that it was like they made a concerted effort to get better at that.
Well, I thought a little. I think Kyle Cuff did a great job at the foul line. I think he had 10 straight. But I think as a whole, we do have to shoot better free throws. We do. I mean, those are gimmies, especially when you come to games. Sometimes games can be decided on the free throw line. So that's the area that we definitely have to improve. We have room for improvement in a lot of areas, but the free throw, we have to improve on that.
Yeah, I think
easy money. Those are easy.
I think we're near the bottom of the conference in free throw shooting. It was a couple before the weekend, but maybe that's a little better by now. But
we got to fix that part.
Hey, Etan, listen, stay warm. Always great to chatting with you, and then we'll be back on the regular schedule on Monday.
Sounds great. Hopefully, we have some wins to talk about. So, looking forward to it.
Thanks, Etan.
All right, thanks.
Yep.